Madam Rides the Bus by Vallikkannan follows Valli, an inquisitive 8-year-old who secretly plans a solo bus trip to the nearest town. Eager to see the world beyond her village, she saves money, experiences independence, and delights in the passing landscape. Her joy is tempered by the sight of a dead animal, introducing her to the reality of death. The story contrasts childlike curiosity with emerging maturity and serves as a quiet coming-of-age tale about learning through experience. The lesson also includes activities and questions to help students engage with its themes of exploration and observation. Have you ever realized that stepping out your front door is often the first step of a life-changing adventure? Look at the girl on the left, standing quietly by her doorway, while the colorful, bustling world waits just to the right. That doorway isn't just a physical exit. It acts as a symbolic threshold between the safety of her home and the profound lessons of the wider world. She is about to learn that existence holds both wonder and sadness, a duality represented by the open book icons framing the text. Understanding this metaphor helps you see how literature turns simple actions into deep symbols of personal growth. Obsessions often start as tiny, almost invisible whispers before they take over our minds completely. Notice how the bus dominates the center of the image, physically larger than the small figure watching it from the corner. This visual hierarchy perfectly captures how a tiny wish can swell into an overwhelming desire that eclipses everything else in a character's life. Even her slang shout of "proud" reveals the intensity of her longing and jealousy toward anyone else who rides that bus. Tracking how a character's motivation intensifies is key to analyzing the driving force behind any great story. Dreams are just fantasies until you build a concrete plan to achieve them. Focus on the spyglass and the specific numbers listed here: distance, time, and exactly how many pies are needed. These aren't just math problems. They show us that Valli is approaching this trip with the precision of a spy on a covert mission. She gathered intelligence by listening to neighbors and asking discreet questions, leaving nothing to chance. Recognizing this attention to detail proves that she is far more determined and calculated than a typical child. Sacrifice is often the hidden price tag attached to our biggest goals. Look at the colorful balloons and the merry-go-round fading into the background behind that solid piggy bank. By turning her back on these childish delights to save stray coins, Valli is demonstrating a level of self-control that even adults struggle to master. This act of resolutely stifling her desires is your first real clue that this protagonist possesses a will of steel. It reminds us that every great achievement requires giving up something in return. The best way to make a story stick is to stop and challenge what you think you know. Cast your eyes on the giant question mark and the thought bubbles floating around it, prompting you to recall the details of Valli's plan. We aren't just reciting facts here. We are connecting the dots between her favorite pastime and her strongest desire. Discussing how she gathered details about the bus journey reveals the depth of her personality. Pausing to synthesize these details ensures you're ready to interpret the major events about to unfold. Sometimes the smallest voice commands the most attention in the room. Observe the contrast between the tiny girl raising her hand and the large, heavy bus grinding to a halt. This moment captures her transition from a passive observer in a doorway to an active participant, demanding her place in the world. The conductor's playful "Madam" comment highlights the humor, but Valli's refusal of help shows her serious intent. Paying attention to power dynamics like this helps you understand how a character asserts their independence. It is rare to see a child command a public space with such absolute authority. Notice how Valli stands tall in the doorway, refusing the helping hand offered to her. Her refusal isn't just stubbornness. It is a declaration of independence and self-respect, insisting she be treated as an equal who paid her fare. She shuts down the child label with a haughty correction, proving she sees herself as a grown-up traveler. Identifying these specific traits, like confidence, pride, and assertiveness, gives you the vocabulary to describe complex characters accurately. Imagine seeing the world unfold like a moving painting for the very first time. Look through that window frame at the vibrant greens and the vast blue sky stretching out beyond the glass. To Valli, this isn't just scenery, it is a sensory explosion of luxurious freedom that she has only ever imagined from afar. The optical illusion of trees running towards them captures the unique, dizzying perspective of a fast-moving vehicle. Focusing on this imagery helps you understand the sheer magnitude of joy this simple ride brings to her spirit. Laughter is often the purest reaction to life's unexpected absurdities. Focus on Valli's expression of delight as she watches that startled cow galloping right in the middle of the road. The cow's clumsy panic, despite the driver's honking, strikes Valli as hilarious, bringing tears to her eyes. This moment showcases the innocence and unburdened joy of childhood, contrasting sharply with the conductor's sarcastic remark. Remembering this moment of lightheartedness is crucial because it sets up a sharp emotional contrast for the tragedy that follows. True discipline is sticking to your plan even when a reward is dangling right in front of you. Focus on how Valli remains seated in the bus, firmly refusing the conductor's offer of a cold drink in the strange town. This refusal isn't just about saving money. It is a powerful demonstration of her self-control and her commitment to the boundaries she set for herself. She resists the temptation of the treat to maintain her dignity and ensure her safe return. This highlights a maturity beyond her years, showing us that she values her independence far more than a momentary pleasure. The mood of a story can snap in a single heartbeat, turning pure joy into sudden grief. Shift your gaze from the happy scene on the left to the harsh stillness of the animal lying on the road to the right. This visual shock mirrors the protagonist's internal realization that life is fragile and can be extinguished in an instant. What was once a source of laughter has transformed into a horrible, frightening memory that haunts her thoughts. Understanding this loss of innocence is essential for grasping the deeper, darker themes that define the end of her journey. Knowledge is merely knowing a fact, but wisdom is feeling the weight of that truth in your heart. Trace the bridge connecting the vibrant circle of life on the left to the gray final reality of death on the right. Valli is crossing this metaphorical bridge, moving from a child's simple delight in a running cow to an adult's complex understanding of mortality. She is bridging the gap between knowing living things die and actually feeling the sorrow of that loss. This distinction between surface-level knowing and deep understanding is the core concept you need to master for your thematic essays. There is a special kind of power in holding a secret that changes how you see the world. Notice Valli's subtle, knowing smile in the center as she listens to the adults chatting in the background. She isn't just politely agreeing with them, she is confirming her own secret adventure, realizing she now possesses knowledge that her mother and aunt completely lack. This private smile signals her newfound maturity, proving that experience has transformed her identity even if her physical surroundings haven't changed at all. Great stories don't just happen. They are built with specific tools to make us feel and see. Look at the eye representing the 8-year-old's perspective and the cycle of the bus journey symbolizing the step into adulthood. The author limits what we see to the child's view, like the running trees, to make the wonder feel real and the later tragedy feel personal. Notice also how the green, green, green imagery paints a vivid picture in our minds. Analyzing these tools, symbolism, tone, and imagery is exactly how you unlock top marks in literary analysis. Turning a complex story into a perfect exam answer is an art form in itself. Follow the flow from the sad girl in the bus seat to the structured paragraphs on the right side of the slide. Notice how the answer doesn't just retell the plot. It links specific evidence, like the haunting memory, directly to the question asked. This method builds a logical bridge from her excitement in the introduction to her newfound wisdom in the conclusion. Mastering this framework, intro, evidence, and conclusion, is your blueprint for acing any character analysis question you face. If this lesson helped you, please like and share it with others who may benefit. Subscribe to Pragnya Education for more clear, concept-driven learning. Keep learning, keep growing, with wisdom.